Rapid response is a proactive, business-focused, and flexible strategy designed for two major purposes. First, it helps growing companies access the resources they need to continue to be successful, including helping meet existing and future needs. This is done by facilitating a network among local workforce development area business service teams and local partners such as economic development, Kentucky colleges, and other employers within the same or similar occupational fields within the community and surrounding areas. Second, rapid response also responds to announcements of layoffs and plant closings by quickly coordinating services and providing immediate aid to companies and their affected workers. What rapid response does, it ensures rapid reemployment to minimize the negative impacts of layoff or closure. This is how we offer a pathway to state services to employers and displaced workers. Rapid response is also a guide to layoff aversion. An example of this could be to offer incumbent worker training programs, incumbent worker training programs, which help upgrade workers' skills and many other services that may help prevent or minimize layoffs. It even helps companies grow. So rapid response can really be a solution for businesses in transition, growth, and businesses that are even in decline. The worker adjustment and retraining notification. The government does have reporting requirements. Under certain circumstances, the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act does require employers to give their workers 60 days notice before a plant closing or a mass layoff. All businesses are encouraged but not required to provide notice to their state dislocated worker unit. In Kentucky, that would be the Office of Employer and Apprenticeship Services Rapid Response Team. Businesses are also encouraged to provide notice to their local officials, both as quickly as possible. When a company knows that they will be experiencing a closure or mass layoff, they'll provide a warn notice to the Office of Employer and Apprenticeship Services, either electronically or by mail. And this is typically the impetus for starting the rapid response process. What I do is I respond as the rapid response coordinator for the state. I respond within 48 hours to the employer, and I make introductions. I make these introductions to the local teams that will begin coordinating with the employer and the affected workers to discuss new employment opportunities, upskilling and reskilling, and educational opportunities within their communities. Our goal is to assist in making connections for employers and their displaced workers with little to no impact during their transition. Something else that's also important to note is that a warn notice is not required for employers and workers to take advantage of rapid response services. An added bonus is that rapid response services are provided at no cost to companies or to their affected workers. Rapid response teams can provide rapid response on-site or virtually for an effective and smooth transition for the employer and the affected employees. How can KDLA and rapid response work together? Each of you can request to be added to the WARN distribution list, receive a JobsEQ employer job postings report. And what a JobsEQ job postings report is, a JobsEQ is a site that gathers all of the employers that have posted jobs online to places such as monster.com, indeed.com, etc., and puts them in one location. You can also review the Who's Hiring job listings, which can be found at the kentuckychamber.com/who's hiring. Now, these lists can be posted or distributed for local talent that come into their local libraries to use the resources available to them. On the employer side, perhaps a local area business service manager is assisting an employer in recruiting talent, and they need a space to set up a hiring event. The local library may have that space for them. Our rapid response team is here to help. Our team is led by Michelle Dijon. She's our Executive Director of the Office of Employer and Apprenticeship Services. We also have Alashir Barikanov. He covers the Kentuckiana and Northern Kentucky regions. Bill Sandell, he covers the Cumberlands, South Central, Green River, and West Kentucky regions. Jeff Lee covers the Bluegrass and Lincoln Trail regions, and Jenny Hampton covers the EKSEP and TENCO regions. I do want to thank each of you for your time. If you have any questions, please let me know, and as always, you can contact us at workforce@ky.gov.
I'm going to share, this is Hillary, I'm going to share a screen so that Juliet can talk now. Just a moment. And I want to welcome Juliet, if Juliet's able to connect. Juliet, are you there? Katrina, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. Let's see. I'm not seeing if Juliet's. I see that she's been made presenter. Just wanted to touch base and let's see. I put some links, folks, while Juliet's getting connected. I put a couple of links in the chat. So the email address for workforce@ky.gov and then the Kentucky Career Center page. So, and I'll add additional links here for you shortly. And it looks like Juliet's ready to talk. So Juliet, I'll turn it back over to you. Juliet, we're not able to hear you. Are you on mute? I'll share a few more links while Juliet's getting connected.
It says I'm sharing audio, but it keeps going back to mute.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, basically, rapid response is one of those services that's available all across the state. And each area does things a little bit differently, but we all are there to do the same thing, whether it's the local library, whether it's statewide, or whether it's an individual career center. We just want to help people get back to work and access all the resources that they need. One of the things that I would encourage is the local library getting connected with the local workforce board. There are many of the things that we both do that are geared toward helping that individual find that next job, whether it's resources there at the library. The library has a lot of opportunity to reach out to someone. For example, when a career center might be closed, nights, weekends, times they may be closer to a local library than a career center. So our joint partnership is critical in the effort to reach everyone. Rapid response is available in all the areas across the state, and what she's showing now just happens to be our rapid response page. Most of the local areas have their own rapid response page or team through the Kentucky Career Center. And pretty much most of them go through a basic agenda. So I had her just pull up our page as an example of something that you could see that would guide you through the services that are available to help someone in a local library. On our site, for example, we have an agenda up there to allow individuals to see what all's available. They can watch a video of a rapid response. They could actually be able to see all the different resources that are available for their rapid response, or find other local areas, like on that flyer that she showed a few minutes ago, both on the slide, and I think KDLA has a slide of the local rapid response coordinators as well. But Career Edge is another great resource that she showed briefly, and she's got a slide she'll attach to the recording for libraries to be able to sit someone at a computer, allow them to see and view Career Edge. And one of the great things about it is that if someone needs interviewing help, they can actually access Career Edge, get real-time feedback through a video of how they're answering questions, and improve their interviewing right there at the library if they can't get to the Career Center. So all these different services together help us become one and assist those customers in finding that next job, because as individuals find that next job, all of us get the benefit in that as more people go to work, local libraries get additional local taxes that help support library services. So as we go through all of our jobs, which is all geared toward helping people in our local area, whether it's rapid response through the Career Center, access to services through the local workforce board, or statewide resources, we're all there to help individuals find what they need, who's available to provide it. And one of the biggest things is, for example, something as simple as a resume. People will pay several $100s for someone to do a resume when it's available for free at the Career Center, and they can upload it to Focus Career. One of the things that we did locally is work with our library and provide them a list of websites that's in one of those stand-up clear shields right there beside the laptop or computer to allow them to see different websites that would help an individual succeed in returning to work, where that resume can be uploaded for employers to find them, and more simple things like that. So I would encourage you to contact your local Kentucky Career Center and especially your local workforce board to set up joint services and get the resources that you need for your area where you two can succeed as a team. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much for the time.
I'm going to stop sharing that website, and I've got a couple more slides I'd like to share. Give me just a moment. Switch screens here. So we've got some, these are the local rapid response coordinators, and I will be sending out this map with the list of contact information on them and the local workforce development area maps. And also here's information about Kentucky Career Edge that Juliet referenced. That's here for you. And so want to let you know about that. Does anybody have, Alicia's already asked, but if anybody has questions, now would be a great time to ask. And Juliet, are you still able to talk? If you've got, if we've got questions, are you able to hear us? Okay. Okay. Juliet, you mentioned that you work with your local library and to provide some acrylic stands for them to put information about the Career Center. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. We had gotten some extra acrylic stands for job fairs and things like that. So one of the things we did was provide them some extra acrylic stands during COVID and gave them a list of all the different websites where they could access the main services we use in the Career Center. For example, if someone has a paper resume, that paper resume doesn't go as far toward helping them find a job when we can't meet in person as having it in the systems that we all use and employers use to search for people. So making sure they get it uploaded to the right places and that they know where they can seek jobs, the different services that are available, how they can go ahead and register in our systems from the local library, and even Career Edge, where they can sit there in their local library and have that one-on-one access with an interview simulator, go through personality evaluations, build a resume, learn soft skills or financial literacy, and go through the different websites that our career centers offer as well, where when they can get to a career center, they're ready to receive one-on-one assistance from those career coaches in their local area.
And Juliet, are people able to make appointments with Kentucky Career Centers now to come in, or what's the procedure for folks to go to career centers and get help at this time?
Yes, people can start making appointments for certain services through the kcc.ky.gov. And then if you're not interested or don't need unemployment insurance, then you can actually call the local career center numbers. We're trying to get our main numbers released now, but like for example, on our career center page that she had up earlier, we have all of our career coaches have cell phones, and you can actually contact one of them and make a one-on-one appointment to come in to the local resource room or to get an eligibility appointment. And most of the career centers across the state are trying to do that now.
Okay, and Juliet, thank you. We've got a question from Caleb. Does the Rapid Response Team coordinate local services via the local career center offices, or do you reach out directly to organizations that are local to the entity that sent out a warn notice?
Basically, whoever is responsible for that area, when they send that warn notice to the state provides it to one of those 10 rapid response coordinators, and that coordinator will reach out to, say it was in Hopkinsville, then I would reach out to the company here in Hopkinsville, and we would make arrangements as to what's best for them. Some companies still won't let people on site, so we may do something virtual, like you could see on our screen, where individuals and the company could access those services 24/7. It could be something simple like getting packets mailed to the individuals affected if it's a small layoff. But the individual where that company is located will reach out and see what is the best for that company, those workers, and make arrangements to take care of that situation and help everyone make sure that they're able to get the services that they need.
Okay, Caleb, okay. And Caleb's responded, thanks. And they have a good local office in Boyle County, so it's good to know where the channel of communication is coming from. Do you have any, great. Do you have any other examples, Juliet, of how that process works with Rapid Response Team and companies? I don't know if you're able to share any specifics or not, but companies, how that's worked in real time.
Well, when we can visit in person, typically what we do is we go in and we take packets for everyone who would be impacted by that layoff. So whether it's 3 people or 300, we would go in and take those packets in, and we would arrange to meet with the individuals being impacted, and we would have anywhere from a 15 to a 40-minute meeting. And again, it depends on the company, what they're willing to allow us to do, and what the individuals are capable of doing with, for example, a manufacturing company versus retail. Retail could maybe spare someone for 15 minutes, whereas manufacturers may be able to give us 45. And we kind of do an overview and go through, and we have an agenda, and we talk about the services that everybody wants to know about. We talk about the unemployment insurance, how you go about it. We talk about training. We talk about Skills U and the adult ed services that are available. We talk about Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, and if someone has a disability, how they access those services. Kentucky farm workers, how you would access health services, what the COBRA law is, and how you would go about accessing those services, and the individuals that are there to help you. And typically, those packets I discussed have a flyer or a piece of paper that goes with every one of those topics that I talked about, where individuals have something to take home when the rapid response is over, and their spouse can see all the different services that were talked about. And then if a community had additional services, like, for example, EKSEP might have various grants available in their area. Any of those other programs that are available, they would mention those, where you could access them, who's the main contact, things like that, where they could go ahead and make sure that individuals understand everything that's available. And of course, all across our state, we would talk about the different veterans services that are maybe available or could be available for anyone who had served our country. And the individuals that are there at the local career center to serve them, or available in the local area through various agencies to help them access services as they transition out of the military and move to civilian service.
Thank you, Juliet. Anybody else have questions? This is good information. And I just dropped in the chat. Juliet referenced EKSEP, and that's the local workforce region in Eastern Kentucky, or at least part of Eastern Kentucky. So that would be for some of the counties. Oh, that's fine. Any other questions, folks? Well, I know that somebody had asked a question about what Lessa Ledford had done in with take-home job fairs, And so I can let her share now unless anybody has any other questions. Alicia, does that sound okay?
Sounds excellent.
Okay, just a moment. Let me give her make so I can she can talk in just a moment. Thank you all for your patience. Okay, Lessa, I think you should be able to talk now, but let me know. I just made you a presenter.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Okay. This is kind of short notice, but I'm Lisa Leffert, the adult service here at Estill County. And of course, everybody knows that Estill County was hit by the recent flooding. And I thought it was time to do a job fair. I've been trying to do this every year. And unfortunately, this year we couldn't do face to face. So I reached out to the Kentucky Career Center and I was in touch with Andrew King at the Bluegrass area. And he helped me put a job fair together. And basically I provided the bags and ink pens and information from the library. Of course, we have online resources through KYVL, everybody knows. They have the personal success skills, the Learning Express Job and Career Accelerator, So we reached out to different entities in the county, the hospital, the Board of Education is a huge employer, and, just roundabout. And so we just included information about these, and they provided, each entity supplied us with information about the jobs and how they could apply. And we just put these in bags. Unfortunately, we didn't have as big a hit as we was expecting. We were going to sit up outside, and it was windy that day, so we stood up inside. But we still are giving out the kits. I'm going to continue as long as the bags exist, and I may try to have another job fair maybe sometime this summer, because a lot of people are in the process of rebuilding, and they're worried about housing it right now as well. We included resources for the community from the Housing Authority and different outreach sources that they could reach out to. So that was our job fair. It was just a take-home job fair. They could look through all the paperwork, and the hospital provided a little thing of hand sanitizer, and I had ink pens, and it was just a nice little kit, just to hand out. And, they wasn't tied up with being answered a whole lot of questions and, stuff like that. So I would recommend other libraries to reach out and, do a take-home job fair. The information's there. It's all free, and it's easy to put together. That's all I have.
Thank you, Lissa. Does anybody have questions for her? Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
And Caleb has actually just typed in the chat that many employers should be more than happy to work with you. There's so many places and unable to find applicants right now. Thank you again, Lessa. And like I said, I'm going to send out these, Krista's slides and the recording of today's session, but I'll also send out the local workforce area maps and the rapid response coordinator, those maps too, that list all the contact information and what counties are in what local workforce area, so that you all will know who your contacts will be, and that will give you some information on how to connect with those local workforce personnel, so that you can partner with them and be able to connect with them. And Juliet, would you be able to, thank you, Lessa. Juliet, would you be able, or Juliet or Katrina, would you be able to share again how folks can get on the WARN list one more time, just in case?
Yes, this is Katrina. If you want to get on the WARN distribution list, if you would email workforce@ky.gov, and we'll be happy to get you on that WARN distribution list.
Thank you. I'm going to share a couple of additional slides. Here's the contact information again for the Kentucky Career Center Office of Employer and Apprenticeship Services. There's that. That's the place you would contact to get on added to the WARN list. And thank you, Nicole, for clarifying that. And then here is Juliet's contact information. Again, she's the Workforce Programs Coordinator for the West Kentucky Workforce Board, and she is in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, but she is the person for the West Kentucky area. There are personnel for each of the workforce areas. I want to thank the Institute of Museum and Library Services for sponsoring this webinar today, and also want to let you know that you all can connect with Kentucky Department for Libraries and Archives on our social media pages. We have a Twitter account and a Facebook account. And folks, do you all have any other questions? We've got Katrina and Juliet here for a few more minutes, so please take advantage of asking them questions while they're here. And appreciate the conversations in the chat about the take-home job fairs. Katrina or Juliet, what do you think is one of the biggest, aside from COVID, the biggest barriers for folks getting connected with career centers?
A lot of people joke that it's one of the world's best kept secrets, but a lot of people don't realize how simple it is to come down to your local career center or to get online, get a great quality resume, and get in touch with some great employers. We're looking at doing either an open fair or an open air or a drive-through job fair in several of our areas, because we have, I think last count it was 40 manufacturers reaching out to try and get people employed.
Oh, Juliet, so if you all are interested or looking at doing these open air or drive-through job fairs, how would libraries know about that to perhaps publicize it? Would that be through the workforce email that I shared earlier, that you all shared earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
And we will publicize it through all of our social media and make sure that we share it with the local libraries as well.
Great. And folks, do you have any other questions? I've seen some more discussion in the chat about folks having take-home job fairs, or people not getting, people not coming, or just a few responding. Do you, Katrina or Julia, have any suggestions for ways to help folks get interested?
Advertise as much as possible, job fairs, working with employers to get as many people employed as we possibly can.
I would agree. I would think that when we look at the way we had advertised things in the past versus right now it's social media. That is where people are looking for jobs. It's not newspapers or anything like that. And we've even had less success with radio spots than we have with social media recently. But a lot of employers are putting it out there on social media, and the more shares you can get, the better off you are to reach people and get them to come to your job fair.
Do you have any other, Juliet or Katrina, any suggestions for things to include in the take-home job fair kits? I know Lessa mentioned what she had included, but do you all have any suggestions for things that people could include that would be beneficial? Other suggestions?
For us, I know we usually put at least one little book or packet in there that talks about how to properly fill out an application, how to do a resume, who needs a resume, tips on interviewing, things that are just quick pick up and go type things that get you some of the little things that people might have missed, like the importance of the way you dress to interview, how you respond to a question, positivity, things like that are all quick little things you can print out at low cost, add to your packets, and really make an impact into how quickly someone can become reemployed. And then the other thing is making sure they understand that the career centers aren't just there for one service. Once you get that job, if you're struggling, feel free to come in and see us. Or if you, as the library, have someone that's struggling to keep a job, send them over to see us and we can actually work with them on counseling to maybe help them get a job developer for an undiagnosed need or something to that effect. So it's just that partnership and those wraparound services that we can all do our piece to help people be successful and remain employed long term as they go through and move. But right now, even fast food restaurants are putting up bounties on hiring. Right? I saw a sign in Hopkinsville, one of the manufacturers, $250 sign-on bonus, fast food with 100 and $200 sign-on bonuses. So companies are anxious to get people who are ready, willing, and able to come to work and show up every day. So that tells us that we also need to look at providing them wraparound services for maybe transportation or childcare. So as we see a need in our community, us communicating as professional agencies can really help get the services that people need, we can find that support in our community or build it.
Thank you, Juliet, and I appreciate you mentioning about the other services that you all provide. So it's not just just rapid response, but you all could if a librarian sees the need for somebody who's struggling with staying employed, that you all have counseling services and other resources to assist folks who want to stay employed.
Yes, and that's common throughout the state. All of our workforce boards and career centers have different services. So please do reach out to your local workforce board. They'll get you in touch with all their career centers, one you might not have known about, and what services are available there in your local county. And the two of you can work as a partnership to help make things more accessible for the people that you see at your local libraries every week.
Thank you, Juliet. Any other questions? These have been, we had some good discussion. Any other thoughts that you, Juliet or Katrina, have, things that you want to make sure folks know? I know you've shared quite a bit and some things to remember, but if there's one final thing that you would want to share with people, what would that be?
I'd like everyone to know that we are here to help. So if you have any questions or need any assistance with anything, please reach out and we can make those connections.
I'll go back to that slide too. And Juliet, did you want to say anything else?
I would just say these services are available statewide, so please reach out to the individuals closest to you and develop that partnership with the local workforce board and the local career centers, where we can help as many people as possible together.
Thank you all. Well, one final call for questions. And Alicia, did you have anybody else? I'm not seeing any other chat questions, but just want to make sure I've not missed something.
No, I don't see any, so you're good.
Okay. Well, again, reminder, thank you to the Institute for Museum and Library Services for sponsoring this webinar. And also you can connect with us on our library's Twitter page and our Facebook page. And you can reach out to me. My email, I'm going to drop that in the chat here. You can reach out to me with any kind of workforce questions related or adult service questions related. I'm your workforce and adult services consultant at Kentucky Department for Libraries and Archives, and I welcome any questions you may have. Thank you all so much, and thank you to Katrina and Juliet for presenting. Appreciate your time and your expertise. And I'm going to stop the webinar recording. Thank you all so much again for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you.